say a welcome. We're joined here by our mayor, Moreau Weinberger, our airport director, Nick Longo. We've got Rob and Jenny and the team from ARC Industries, Ellen and Jeff from the Vermont Sustainable Jobs Fund that is part of the Delta Climb Business Accelerator program that helped bring us all together today. And I just want to say also a welcome and thank you to my BED colleagues, and in particular Amber and Freddie, who helped with the permitting and the contract negotiations on our end for this project. We're here today to announce that we have at the Burlington Airport, through the Delta Climb Business Accelerator, a new cutting edge wind energy technology that's going to be demonstrated right here on this rooftop. This is called the Orb by ARC Industries. It's model 0001. So this is the first one in production and in existence being demoed right here. This happened through a collaboration, really kind of the best of Vermont collaboration between Burlington Electric and other utilities and clean energy partners with Delta Climb, which is a business accelerator program that helps seed stage energy companies like ARC Industries come to Vermont, participate in multiple weeks of curriculum and development for their business with mentorship from the various partners, including Burlington Electric staff, and then be able to, at the end of it, offer pilot projects to the different utilities. And in this case, through the 2021 cohort, we were able to select ARC Industries for a pilot project, and that's what's here today. In terms of our renewable energy future, we think about a diversity of resources. At Burlington Electric, we're proud to have long supported hydro resources in state and out of state. Our McNeil wood chip plant, which is a critical resource for us. Solar, which we have right here at the airport behind us, 500 kW of solar, and also wind. And we have 3 wind contracts with different projects in Vermont and in New England. What the Orb represents for us is a new commercial scale technology that can really work on rooftops as opposed to the wind that we think of that's a bigger scale wind turbine. And this Orb right here is a 3 kilowatt technology, but in terms of output, it's going to put out about 2.4 times as much energy per kilowatt in terms of production than a solar panel would. And wind produces at different times of the day than solar does. So having different resources that are renewable, that balance each other, is important for our future and for our grid. Since Vermont Yankee closed in 2013, 2014, Vermont, I believe almost every hour, if not every hour of the day, has been a net importer of electricity from the ISO New England grid. So having more generation in state is important. Having renewable generation in state is important. And demonstrating new technology is important. And that's what we're excited to be doing here today. So we're going to hear from a few different folks, and I'd like to start by turning it over to our mayor, Moreau Weinberger.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out and being part of this event. It's it's exciting to be on this rooftop once again. We had a press conference. We think it was we're trying to remember. I think right around 2015 was before Darren was general manager. On the other side of the roof, when we opened that solar panel installation, and it's great to be back here in this location on this green roof, talking once again about progress with respect to renewable energy here at the airport and in Burlington. I think it really kind of encapsulates the spirit of what Burlington is trying to do as a city, that here on this roof of our airport, you can see kind of 3 different installations of green technologies of one sort or another. I've been fortunate I was fortunate to be the mayor in 2014 when Burlington became the first city in America to source 100% of its electricity from renewable sources. There still aren't many cities that have done it, and we have maintained that distinction. We've continued to source 100% of our energy from renewables, even as we've been pushing aggressively to expand the electricity consumption in Burlington as we attempt to electrify everything and move more of our vehicles and buildings towards electrical heating and cooling systems. And it's in that context that we're announcing this new pilot. From 2014, we went on to create that net zero goal in 2019 and 2020. Despite very complex challenges with the pandemic, the net zero work did not slow down. In fact, in many ways, it accelerated, and we saw greenhouse gas emissions reduced by 15% below 2018 levels in that year, and we've kept going with that. In 2021, Burlington voters resoundingly approved a $20 million net zero energy bond to make landmark investments in grid upgrades to support reliability and renewable energy generation, and important 21st century infrastructure investments. And we have done all that while continuing to pay very close attention to rates. We went a 12-year period without any rate increases, and even as we've adjusted upwards the last couple of years, if you look over that period of time, we've kept electric rates below the rate of inflation increases. In 2022, something that we're working actively on, we secured the governor's approval and legislative approval to become one of the first cities in the country that can now regulate heating systems in Burlington and make further gains there. So, this is a big part of what Burlington city government is focused on. The way we confront climate change is through fiscally responsible, innovative, and aggressive tactics that engage every part of our city government, our diverse business community, renters, homeowners, and visitors, including the visitors, hundreds of thousands of visitors who pass through the airport here every year. We are focused on remaining a national leader in climate action, not for accolades, but because delivering the benefits of clean energy to every person, home, and business in the city requires an innovative spirit and a willingness to push past the boundaries of what's already possible. And this is an example of what we mean. I really love the accelerator program. I've had the opportunity to, I hope people grasp what Darren was quickly explaining there. We have, it's usually about 10 businesses that are part of the program. They spend weeks at the Burlington Electric Department. It's an incredibly exciting, collaborative atmosphere to walk into. I've gotten to be part of these review sessions on several occasions, and it is really awesome to be here and see one of those businesses being able to implement their ideas that were talked about over at BED and see it become a physical reality. This pilot program is the first ever deployment of this new energy technology developed through the Delta Climb Vermont Business Accelerator Program, and I'm hopeful will help Burlington. Another distinction that Burlington has is since 2019, we've had more deployed solar installations on rooftops per capita than any New England city. And we consistently rank among the top 10 nationwide, but there are a lot of rooftops that for one reason or another, you can't have solar on them. And it is exciting to think that there's another technology here coming along where we can continue to expand the renewables being actually generated right within the city. And I guess I would just close by saying, I hope, we're meeting a week after a major UN report came out showing that we're making progress with respect to the climate emergency. In just the last 5 years, the projections on how much heating there's going to be over the rest of the century has been cut in half. And a big part of that progress is technological advancement. No one ever thought solar panels would be as affordable as they are today. The cost of them has come down more than 90% since the 1980s, I believe. Here we have a new technology that hopefully is going to go through a similar arc. Just across the airfield here, we see another technology that you could barely have imagined a few years ago. I think it's incredibly, when I'm pointing towards Beta, of course, and electric airplanes. It is really exciting that Burlington Airport, Burlington City Government, Burlington businesses and partners are so much a part of what is in many ways the most important movement and effort going on in the world today, which is the effort to control the climate emergency, address the climate emergency, and turn around the very disturbing trends that are happening. So thank you. Congratulations. We're excited to be working this way with you, and I look forward to hearing more about it. I'm not sure who's next.
Thanks, Mayor. So next we're going to hear from Rob Monteith with ARC Industries, which, in addition to all the things we've talked about, this might be the first wind turbine that's been permitted in the state of Vermont in a number of years. So in addition to all the other congratulations on that. All yours.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's a pleasure to see everyone here. Thank you for joining us in person and virtually. My name is Rob Monteith. I'm founder and CEO of ARC Industries. And I'd like to start by thanking my friends, family, and mentors, who we've got a couple here, and team members. We have Kevin, Jeff, Jenny, and then Andrea and Maria are both virtual. Because without them, today would not be possible. I'd also like to extend my thanks to the City of Burlington, Burlington International Airport, Burlington Electric Department, Delta Climb, and iSun and their teams for granting us this tremendous opportunity, which we will never forget. Your support and guidance has been instrumental in our growth and development. Today is a momentous day for me. Almost 10 years ago, I started on a journey to design a rooftop wind turbine that would revolutionize the energy sector. At that time, it was just a nugget of an idea. I scribbled in a notebook and continued to grind through my undergraduate degree. As time passed, I kept adding to that notebook, doing research, refining, building virtual models, small-scale prototypes. And as the idea grew, I was determined to make it a reality. 2 years ago, at the start of the pandemic, my team and I decided to take the plunge. We incorporated as a benefit corporation with the stated purpose of being a weapon in the fight against climate change, delivering products that make renewable energies accessible to everyone. I recruited my brilliant brother, Kevin, who is now our CTO, and a tenacious engineer who also happens to be one of my best friends, Jeffrey Corrado, as our COO. Together, our team has fought through innumerable trials and tribulations, from industry stigma to supply chain disasters, but today we are turning a corner in our journey. It is my privilege and honor to present the culmination of these past 10 years, the Orb. The Orb is an 8-foot tall, 6-foot diameter, vertical axis wind turbine, specifically for deployment in low speed, low elevation found in urban and suburban environments. Each unit is rated to deliver 3 kilowatts of power, or roughly the equivalent of an average single family house in the US. The Orb's unique compact design enables an energy density 4 times greater than solar panels, and while being highly complementary to existing technologies such as solar. This allows our customers to scale their deployment arrays to meet their physical location's energy and space demands, all while being able to accommodate pre-existing on-site generation technologies. The City of Burlington has the unique honor of being our first ever pilot project in partnership with Burlington Electric Department and the Burlington International Airport. We could not have asked for a better location, as you guys can plainly see, or better partners. You guys have been instrumental in making this happen. If anyone's interested in learning more about the Orb or investing in our company, I gotta pitch it. Sorry guys, Delta Climb taught me. All right, you can learn more at arcindustries.co, and we'll be opening our first round of seed investments later this month. While the issue of climate change can seem insurmountable and daunting, ARC Industries is up for the challenge, especially with the help from stellar leadership with organizations like Burlington Electric, Delta Climb, and Mayor Weinberger. Like my dad used to tell me, if it was easy, someone would have already done it. So let's make the hard decision and lead our society to a brighter, greener future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. Next, we're going to hear from Nick Longo, the director of Burlington International Airport, who's seeking to make this greenest airport around. So, Nick, tell us more.
Thank you all very much, and thank you for coming to the Burlington International Airport for this unveiling. Thank you, ARC Industries and Delta Climb. This is extraordinary and very, very exciting for us as an airport to see the future of what can become some of this space that we're standing on today. As you can see, even just looking around, there's many opportunities for these orbs to be outfitted across our rooftops. Thank you, Darren, and to the BED staff, and for your leadership and your commitment to exploring outside of the box. We've done that so many times with so many various partners with Darren and the team. So thank you very much. I'm excited really to see what's next, what we can come up with next to meet some of these goals that Darren mentioned. And thank you, Mayor Weinberger, for bringing us closer, not just the city, but the airport, closer to our climate action goals, closer to our sustainability plans at the airport, and the initiatives and the creativity to further the airport sustainability plan, which we are working on as right now. This is a great example of the many tangible ideas that can reduce airports' carbon emissions and carbon footprint across our buildings. We continue to advocate and will further fund efforts like this to meet those goals. As you can see, we're moving. There's a lot of action happening right here at the airport. And this is truly indicative of that action and of that continuous motion. And I couldn't be happier and prouder to help support ARC Industries in this first deployment. Thank you all very much.
And now we're going to hear from the folks who helped make this partnership happen. We have Ellen and Jeff from the Vermont Sustainable Jobs Fund and the Delta Climb Business Accelerator, and we're going to hear from Jeff. So come on up. Thanks, Jeff.
This is truly a celebration. I want to celebrate ARC Industries' dedication and hard work to climate change. Burlington Electric Department, Mayor Weinberger, and everybody involved. This is a collaboration, as Darren alluded to. It's a public-private partnership between many, many players. Lots of the utilities in Vermont, gas utility, Efficiency Vermont, financial institutions. It's an all hands-on-deck effort, and we all collaborate together to figure out the best way to help Vermont meet its climate goals. And the way we do it is we all, again, collaborate in the beginning, figure out what's the main problem we want to tackle going forward. Go out and find companies that are working on that challenge. The utilities and other partners themselves are involved in the selection process. And Burlington Electric Department, in particular James Gibbons, was very interested in wind for Burlington. And for all those reasons, the support of all those organizations, which is why we're here today to celebrate this. The Vermont Sustainable Jobs Fund is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we look forward. We look around corners. We try to understand what are the things that are coming down the pike that we need to start thinking about now, oftentimes before everybody else. And that rings true for Vermont as well. There's often conversation that Vermont leads the way. Vermont's willing to do things that others are not. So today we have 001 orb on the roof with all this collaboration making it happen. And a big piece of that in our program is the dedication of the staff of our sponsors. So we bring in mentors, and I think there's 6 mentors here today from Burlington Electric Department. Without them, the Delta Climb program wouldn't be even close to as effective. So it's hard work up and down the line, from the top, the mayor, Darren, all the way down through the organizations, and again, back to ARC. So congratulations to everybody. This is tremendous. And, I thank you all for your help. And we are now recruiting for our next cohort. So if you know energy companies, looking to affect climate change, send them on over. So thank you.
We'd be glad to take any questions if you have any. Well, I'm gonna ask Rob to come up and talk about that.
Sure. So right now, this is our first unit. So obviously, R&D costs are high, but we're coming in roughly around $20,000 per unit, with ARC Industries picking up the tab for the first one, and Burlington Electric covering the cost of the installation right now. We hope by the end of next year to get that cost to below $10,000 installed. So it should be close to on par with the cost of solar energy currently, what it's at right now. Yeah, so full steam ahead.
Thanks, Rob. Yep. Any other questions?
How long is this pilot project supposed to go for?
So this pilot's going to go for a year, and Burlington Electric, after it's completed, has the option to buy out the orb that you see here and keep it at the Burlington Airport to keep generating renewable electricity. Any other questions?
Are there plans for more here? As Nick said, there's a lot of space.
Yeah, I think from Burlington Electric, we'd certainly be interested in helping to support deployment, whether it was here at the airport or maybe elsewhere in Burlington. And I think if the cost structure comes down, as Rob's indicating, and in the future these are potentially eligible for federal tax credits as well, I think it could be a very, very competitive technology when we look at what are we siting on rooftops. And obviously, Burlington Electric, we're fortunate to have a very compact geographic service territory. We can keep outages low, but on the flip side, we don't have a lot of big open spaces to site solar panels, for example. So we're always looking at options that can work in a rooftop. And we have a lot of flat rooftops in the city that the orb would fit nicely on. So I could see it being a great complement to rooftop solar and really providing different production for us, because it produces sometimes at night, could produce a little more heavy perhaps in the winter when energy prices are high. So it could be a nice complement to solar.
Just to, want to build on that. This is something that we're thinking a lot about. Every community in the country should be thinking about. We project that to meet our net zero goals, we're going to have to increase the energy production, the energy generation, the electricity generation by about 60% at least from where we are now. And sometimes I wonder if that's it's going to be even more than that. So we don't know exactly where all that future power is going to come from. We certainly will be looking closely at what is the most cost-effective, impactful way to do that. And that's the context around how BED will be evaluating it. And the country has to go through an even more dramatic transformation. This is, again, the federal action recently through what's called the Inflation Reduction Act, $369 billion being devoted towards the climate emergency. There is going to need to be an enormous national increase in the infrastructure of generating renewable energy. So I think this is an incredibly exciting time for renewable energy generation, and exciting time for you guys to be coming forward with the innovation you have.
Any other questions? All right, if not, we'll all be around if anyone wants to follow up. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Congratulations, Rob. And everybody welcomes the orb.